Well, it's time to talk about the drama. It's time to talk about the drama. You guys don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the dark side of competitive Valorant. Now, this isn't drama like other stuff. This is not drama like, you know, what Minecrafters aren't talking to each other or which millionaire didn't get their paycheck. This is who in the Valorant Tier 2 community is ruining the competitive integrity by throwing games, fixing games, and taking paychecks to fix those games. You've talked about this before. I've talked about the existence of it, but I didn't talk about names because now there are names out there. I have yet to watch this video. It's a longer video, but there are names of the people who are being accused. Okay. I think he dropped the bomb, but I haven't watched the full video, so I don't know. I genuinely don't know. So that's what we're watching today is Sean Garris talking about who was fixing matches. I watched the first 15 minutes and it's crazy. This felt like a VOD review. Okay, all right, we'll give it a shot here. Okay, our
Let's
lead.
zoom out for a quick second. For those of you who don't follow professional
I'm gonna skip this. We know how it works, right? Basically, this impacts the scene that we have been in for 3 years now. Okay, what started as, you know, Moist Moguls and became MXS and is now Shopify Rebellion is the league that is impacted. Our Challengers League. Tier 2 Valorant is what it's often called. The league which can ascend to Pro Valorant. So Pro Valorant is not the one being impacted here, right? Sentinels, Liquid, whatever. The Guard, they're not the ones who are throwing matches, fixing matches on Riot stage. The ones that are accused of fixing matches are tier 2 because that's all done usually online from people's homes without organizations. A lot of the time it's individuals, people without salaries. So the money is a lot more valuable than losing the opportunity to compete, right? If you're doing the math equation, if you're a pro Valorant player, you're getting paid 6 figures to play your favorite video game by an organization. It's not worth it to throw games for 5 figures. The math doesn't math there. There's no incentive. Well, putting morals aside. Tier 2, not the same. They're not getting paid 6 figures. They're doing this part-time alongside being a college student, working a regular job or whatever it is. And so there's some incentive to throw. It's not excusing it, of course, but there's incentive and you know, when incentive exists, it breeds malfeasance.
This is my good old friend Bray. He is the guy that's reaching out to everyone, and this is what his Twitter looked like.
Hello, Paul.
Well, at least for last week, before he deleted a lot of the incriminating evidence.
So Bray is the match fixer, all right? And he's the one who is connecting gamblers, money, and pro players throwing.
Well,
and his pin tweet is, I have no sympathy for people who don't work hard. I don't care if you live or die. Okay. That's got to be just like the cringiest pin tweet I've ever seen in my life. This guy sees a Mark Wahlberg getting up at 4 a.m. video, going into ice bathwater, gets a rock hard. Because you know Marky Mark works hard. You know Marky Mark works hard.
So Teague, who currently plays for Landor, and Practo, who's on Burger Boys, have actually helped me quite a bit in this investigation.
So Sean has employed the help of 2 pro players to act as moles, and they are going to feign wanting to throw matches to see how it works.
Yo, Teague, let's make 100K each in your next game. What's your Discord? I got 20K for you.
Here's what always confuses me about this. Who is gambling $100,000 on a challengers match? Because for this to work, there must be a greater fool being duped. If it's rigged, but that's not how betting works. You can't bet $100,000, right? I don't think there's a casino here that has a line that's paying it out. Somebody has to be on the other side of the bet. But is there 100,000 on the other side of the bet? Like, how does that work?
I don't want to get cut for playing poorly since I did shit last split. But is there any way to do it and win? And Bray says, we have streamer accounts on multiple sports books.
I don't know what that means.
These streamer accounts on the betting sites are how these guys are capable of even dropping bets this big on challenger games.
What does that mean? What's a streamer account? So like if I, Ludwig the streamer, want to make a bet, I have the ability to make larger bets. Is that it? But that still wouldn't change the necessity for somebody to be betting on the other side of the result.
Can bet maps too. So if you play bad for one map, or I just said throw an eke around accidentally on map 1, so you could just shit the bed one map and still win and make money? And Bray says, yes, we should lock in for real.
The way Bray talks pisses me off, bro. We should lock in when it's like, yeah, dude, throw the game so I can make fucking $100,000. we should lock in for real here. I'm going to press 2 buttons. We need to lock in on this. He sounds very fake. I mean, I think I see a lot of people like this in life. And actually, I would argue financial circumstances are irrelevant to this breed of person. But there are some people who are so about their bread, they just get lost in it. They will die, like we all will, only caring about how much money they have. But when you die, the money you can't keep. So we should probably spend it all because the pain isn't cheap.
Yeah, bro. Fucking like Prosperity Esports in Burger Boys and shit. Bam.
Okay. Everything makes sense now. There's some crazy upsets that this split. Yeah, bro. Prosperity and Burger Boys were possibly throwing.
Just like that. Found. Thank you so much. Yeah, I understand. I work with a few Valorant players at the moment, and this is on May 1st.
I think all I care about is who he's working with, which teams they were. Because here's the thing. That just said Burger Boys, right? If you guys don't know, Challengers is currently in playoffs. Do you want to know who's in the upper finals of playoffs? Burger Boys. So, like, if he's claiming Burger Boys was a part of this, when, who, you know what I'm saying?
I hid the team for privacy reasons, but let me know if you want to run up a fucking bag together. And he flaunts this right here bet. Holy shit. The payout for this, $230,188.10. This guy placed a bet not on the series, but on map 2.
Who is taking the other side of this bet? Unless the casino is acting as the house and paying out regardless. Is the casino coming up with a line here? That just seems like so much work on the casino's end. That's how a sportsbook works. I mean, I guess, but like, I hear that people are doing ranked game bets. So are you telling me the casino is coming up with a line for a ranked game? Like, that seems unlikely. This is not the same as like a fucking NBA game. It's exactly the same. Sorry. It's brain dead from a casino's perspective because the amount of information they have is so much smaller than an NBA game. So their lines are way less accurate to the point where individuals can have controls on the outcome and maybe heighten their chances of success in a bet like we are watching right now. Says who? I would assume Bray. I would assume the guy who made $230,000 from the casino would say this. Because you know what's not possible is making this same exact bet, but for game 2 of the NBA finals. So I would assume Bray would be on my side with this. Me and Bray, bro, ride or die.
Team was winning 5-3. He's going to get 1.72 times what this number is, which is what he staked up. Please delete messages whenever you want to be driving a Lambo.
I hate the way this guy talks so much. I hate the way this guy talks deeply within my heart, man. God, he talks so... I just realized his name is Bray Crypto NFT Group. I just read the full name. I was just reading the Bray part. I missed the Crypto NFT Group.
He's offering $50,000 for this game.
You know what's interesting is this is happening after Sean said that there are people throwing. So this guy doesn't give a fuck. I think he's under the impression that there's no comeuppance coming for him. And he might be right about it. Because what authority is going to step in? It's like crypto gambling is about as unregulated as it can be. Riot Games has made basically no attempt or effort to step in. You know, worst case, you get your ranked account banned. Oh no. And it seems like the casino doesn't give a fuck either.
$40,000 guaranteed. $40,000 to lose map 1. Let me know ASAP. And Practo responds shortly after. I'm good.
I'm good. Thanks for the offer though.
Thanks for the offer though. This is the message that you'll see a lot. Let's move combos to Telegram. So he's moving
TG. I'm not a Telegram head. Is that the right vernacular? What's your TG, bro? I feel like it's not. Is it normal to have a Telegram? I don't have a Telegram. I don't know if that's weird for me. Chat, press 1 if you got a Telegram. To be fair, I don't even got a Snapchat. So I could also be a boomer on this. It seems like a good amount of people have a Telegram. Actually, hella people have Telegrams. I use it for military operations. Doxed. Okay, well, don't say there's a lot of sex traffickers on there and everyone in my chat is pressing 1. It's kind of... That doesn't feel good for me.
And this is what I was fearful of. The second these guys know that you're onto them, whoop, everything is gone. Nothing is left. No proof of anything. And if you didn't record it, awesome. You're too late. You're worried about getting leaked? Just DM me on Telegram, this encrypted peer-to-peer chat messaging program where,
Dude, this guy sucks. This guy sucks, man. Young, rich, and successful. Is that shit an NFT profile picture too? This shit sucks. Is Telegram the one that got hacked from all the White House people from Pete Hegseth? Is that Telegram? That was Signal. Okay, that's my bad. Signal. It wasn't hacked? Wait, how did it leak? They added a random person. Being the Signal PR representative and having to be like, no, the Secretary of Defense was not hacked. Our site is good. He just accidentally added a random person. We hope he continues to use their service. They added a journalist and it happened twice. Yeah, that's beast. That's beast, man. They're going to keep us safe, though, man. Love this goddamn country. God bless. God bless. It's not an NFT. It's Milady. It's the best NFT. Yeah, but I don't know, man. Someone tell me that they have the best NFT doesn't really do shit for me. Like, because I think all NFTs are unequivocally lame. You know what I'm saying? So if someone's like, yo, I actually have the finest smegma. I really took the cheese from the penis, from the best penis in the world. I have the best schmegma collection. I wouldn't be like, oh, sick. You know, it's not going to change things for me because I think all schmegma's gross. In the same way with NFTs, I find all NFTs gross. I'm eating. Well, look, I'm trying to just give you an analogy here. Stick with me. That was a good analogy.
That's truthfully, people like Bray are also connected to crypto groups, and those groups are connected and run by people like this guy. And he is the founder of Pastel Alpha, which is a crypto trading group where they give people suggestions on like what cryptocurrencies to buy. In my experience, I've been in crypto for quite a while. These types of groups lose you money.
This name is crazy. I see a blue check mark like this, and I was trying to get off Twitter. This or Yoxic. They bet against me. Shopify Rebellion Black versus Core. Match winner.
They're looking for the chart to bump up. They can then kind of slightly sell off onto you, and then you're left holding the bag.
Thank you, the 20 gifted the treehouse. I appreciate that. One step closer to being young, dumb, and rich like Bray.
But I do know that this guy has made some serious bets on these challenger games.
Damn, they're betting on Burger Boys every time.
Serious bets on Burger Boys of all teams. Wow, that is surprising. Looking through what's left of some of the stuff on Cooker's profile, you can see a little bit of how this guy operates, right? What's going to happen here, and what you're going to notice, is he actually has some legitimate bets. And what that's all about is, truthfully, he's just washing the money. Think Breaking Bad Walter White, the car wash, right? This guy's trying to take this illegitimate money that is only coming in from challenger games and make it look like he's also making money on other things.
And that's how they keep the casino hooked. They're counting cards, but after counting the cards, they chuck a couple of grand on roulette, and the casino's like, all right, no worries there.
But you can see his profit margins have just got insane in some of it.
God is good. God is great. Brother, for one damn second, read the Bible. The Bible hates rich people when they use their means for only themselves. Might be Muslim. That's the sect that's the most about that shit. Maybe not sect. What do you call it? Group? I'm pretty sure it's haram to borrow money. Even borrowing money is haram. No, it's not. I'm telling you, I'm right on this one. Oh, okay. Wait, hold up. It's a loan that's haram because the interest is the haram part. All right, I appreciate that. I appreciate that correction. So I guess any realistic way you would borrow money. I guess borrowing money from a friend's chill, but getting any money from official routes.
What, ranking my Val? I'm ass. I don't play Val. Like, seriously. I don't have time to play. I don't have time to put any effort into these games.
Just say your ass, man. Why is he's pussyfooting around? Your ass. You're bad. You're bad at the game. It's not about lack of effort, lack of this, lack of that. You're bad at the game. That's okay. You've made millions scamming people. That's fine. You got the bag, but you're ass at Valorant. Just say it how it is. I'm tired of people pussyfooting around. It gives the same energy as people in school who are like, yeah, nah, I got like B's and C's, but if I applied myself, I'd have straight A's. Well, you don't. Your ass. I'm not ass at Valorant, Chad. I'm Diamond. The money vacuum.
At its peak, around like 2020, early quarantine days to 2022, there were so many orgs.
Yep.
And to show that, you can actually go to the subreddit. These are some of the orgs that we've lost since franchising. That is a lot of logos.
That is so
I am literally
logos.
Getting nerd chills looking at this.
Dude, these logos, I mean, some of these are just so butt. Some of these logos are so butt. Damn, I forgot how ass some of these logos were. My Lord. The Griffin E-Sports. That's kind of fire. Geek fam. That's like the fucking geek part, huh?
You learned how to be a pro gamer in Valorant and now there's no money in the scene. And you might miss out on a lot of opportunities in those years that you were doing that. You might have put a relationship on hold. You might have put school
Education
on hold. You might have
hold.
put an important job on hold.
Yep.
You took huge risks thinking that the scene would be what it was.
He's true
Because
about all
why
this.
wouldn't it at least look somewhat like that?
What's going on is pro pay dog shit now. I think there's a league minimum for pro pay, so it's not dog shit. I think it's a completely livable wage. The issue is if you're not a tier 1 pro. So if you're a tier 2 pro, there is no league minimum, and several people aren't getting paid at all because there's no org that would pay them. They're getting paid because they're just a group of 5 people playing games together through prize pools or something. So there is no money, coming in. Yet there are some people who do have money in. So like you need to still be at a high enough level, grinding enough that it is your full-time job. So anyway, that makes things a bit harder. How much of the prize pool goes to the players usually? Usually 100%. It depends on the esport. For most esports, it's 100%. For some esports, like maybe Dota, it's different, but I don't know. But also there's not that many tournaments, I think, for prize pools if you're in Challengers tier 2.
It's a pillar that's required in any kind of sport, right? Think of like collegiate basketball, collegiate football, anything like that. In traditional sports, they all have these type of circuits to feed up into the pro league. That is no longer the case in Valorant, and it's created this vacuum.
Here's what happened with Valorant, man. The issue with Valorant is that when it first started, there were no official teams, right? Anyone could make a team. They could try to get the 5 best players that they thought would work together well and hope that they would win. And tournaments were like kind of free for all. It was just like CS. Yeah, you could make it and qualify into a tournament. If you qualified in, you could be in this major and then you could feasibly win it. And then, after running that ecosystem for a little bit, Riot was like, okay, we are going to like start our own league and there's going to be these teams in those leagues. So now those teams get to go to all the tier 1 events. If you weren't a part of that, there was basically only one viable strat, which was try to win tier 2 and make it to tier 1 on the guest spot. Where it went from before, which was teams qualifying and everyone competing to make it to the tier 1 event. Now everyone is competing for the chance of one of them making it to a tier 1 event. So what happened over years after the franchising started is teams left because it's a big gamble to hope that you are the first place team, because there's a big chance that it doesn't work out. The bottleneck is tiny. It's a good way to put it. So teams gave it a year, maybe 2 years, and then they all left. And even the teams that did win and move on to tier 1, they also left. Like the Guard, because the cost for being a franchise team is really expensive. There's a huge initial cost. It's like a few $1 million. So basically the only winners in Valorant are the teams that were chosen for the franchising spot when they started the league. They are the winners. They won. They get skins in game to make money off of. They're in the premier side of esports, which will get the bulk of the viewership. They are the winners there. The losers is everybody else. Everyone else, straight up the losers. And that's kind of how it's been. Wyatt today said there's about 250 tier 1 Valorant pros. Tier 2 has almost 850 with no funding to pay them. All the minimum 50K in pro play. Thus corruption. It would cost Riot roughly 45 million per season minimum. I understand Riot's logic. Like Riot should want a league to be able to stand on its own legs. Right? If they are subsidizing the league, that can only last for so long. This is what happened in League of Legends. They were subsidizing like the academy side of things. And eventually they were like, okay, this is just a fucking money sink. What are we doing? So they stopped doing it. I think the issue is they didn't set up the ecosystem to survive on its own. I think they could have, but they didn't.
Created a lifestyle around expecting that kind of income. People like Braid now have you by the balls, though. If you throw that
Got you
one
by the
game,
damn balls.
if you listen to him,
All right, let's
you
go
are
on.
then on the
Evidence.zip. Oh my
Sure,
God,
comic
evidence.zip. This is a Melee crossover.
How did I stumble into this? Truthfully, it all started with that loss against Blue Water. I went back that night and I rewatched.
Damn, he's got
the
great
VODs. I
deltoids.
have rarely in my career, I can't even
Fuck, he's
remember
hot.
times where I've got out of a game and I thought the other team was cheating in some kind of way. And I'm looking at this and I just couldn't believe it all. Like, this team caught so many timings. They beat our team, who came into this match very, very prepared. Super prepared for a lot of the stuff Fair ended up doing even. But he just caught immaculate timings across the map, took space in ways that I've never seen anyone take space while using zero utility. What I'm about to show you is bizarre. Now, what you're gonna notice here is Bob over here at Dish, send it. Absolutely send it. I don't know if I've seen anyone do this. She runs it down, and drones from this aggressive spot, the stealth drone on Teo. This drone is seen by everyone. You know, it sees the Cypher, it sees people in the deep lines. You would think that Bob solo dish and no one around to push would just respect that and let it go.
Yeah.
No, not at all. Bob sends it. The gun isn't even out when you look at Bob through the wall. And on your screen, that's fair. I just watched this one round and I couldn't even believe it.
Sausage. The drone actually only sees the Cypher. Still, I still throw a sausage. I don't understand. Basically, he's saying Teo was very aggressive because usually there's a fight at this point on the map. There's a fight here because these players are able to swing here at the same time these players are able to swing here. So this is usually a contested space. But rather than actually check to see if it's contested, he just ran up confidently to this point and used the drone from here, which is a lot more space taken unsafely. And then the drone, he's saying, caught this guy and these guys, which this is contested by the players. The players are saying it did not catch these guys, it only caught these guys. And then he swung out and got fucking murked. And he swung out without his gun. So this is Bob. Basically, I think the implication is Bob might be throwing.
They're just sending it. Let knife out. What? You're playing against a breach Teo Neon. Running knife out. The gun isn't even out. That is crazy.
Dude, throwing on this goofy ass music is crazy. It's like him trying to go through the minute details of how this could be fixed.
And this is when I started to realize I don't even think this is a one-person thing anymore. I'm not even sure what Bob's doing here. And they're playing a Neon that could run her down?
Maybe she's
so
just
she chickles out
ass at the
wide,
game.
immediately gets stunned, peeks out, dies. This guy peeks out, dies. And, the round's literally just over.
Maybe
this
she's
ult
ass
is
like
just
you would not believe. Maybe
crazy
she
to
is
me.
the Valkyrie of this shit.
Even though the Neon had 1 HP, he boom bots through the smoke to give away his spot.
Fucking
now
narcs.
look
Everyone
at where
goes,
Clip it. Yep. And we're sending that one away, Ludwig. Yep.
Do you think those players can trade? Do you think those players can do anything? Of course not.
I don't know how to distill this if you don't play Valorant. Basically, he's going through a series of coincidences of somebody playing incredibly poorly on a game that was bet on by somebody who is known to match fix. And the bet did hit. The claim was made that Burger Boys does have throwers. This is, in Sean Garris's mind, an example of the throwing. Because it's quite hard to have definitive proof in these private conversations who exactly is throwing. Blue Otter is the throwers. Excuse me, my bad. I misspoke. That is correct. Burger Boys won the match. Blue Otter threw the match. Is it that obvious? No, I think other pros would leave with, hey, this is a series of coincidences of people being bad at the game. But if there are 3 coincidences within the course of a match, that's statistically significant. That's a statistically significant amount of coincidences. If the same person is throwing and they're a pro player, that would be significant enough that you'd want to look into it further. Maybe they were sleepy. So you can say that, but it is definitive that there are people betting on matches. That is a fact. That's one fact. All right, here's the facts. Tier 2 matches are being bet on. People are winning these matches. People are throwing these matches. Like, you can kind of take those all as fact. There's claims that people are throwing, and the people who are saying people are throwing are also winning bets. So I think we can believe it to be true that there are people throwing. Now, from there, you have to play a bit of a puzzle game on who actually is the one throwing. You have it maybe narrowed down to a couple of teams based off of a source. You could very easily watch any of these individual clips, say this is coincidence, this person just playing bad, so on and so forth. It does not remove the fact that there are people who are betting on matches, getting insane amounts of payouts in a way that is unprecedented and can almost assuredly only be done by insider knowledge, aka people throwing matches. What if they're innocent? So Sean Garris is not a legal entity. Sean Garris is not the owner of the IP. Sean Garris is raising attention to this, presumably so that the people who can do something about it, aka Riot Games, does something about it. That's it. That's what I'm assuming the goal is here. It's influencing people's reputations. I think that's a fair point, and that's a scary path for Sean to navigate. I would say this, like I don't think Sean has said Bob is outright a cheater. Maybe that comes up later. I would argue maybe she's not cheating. She is ass. At least based on this game, she's butt. She's damn butt of this game. So I think the result is the same. If you are, it's all about the ends, not the means. She probably needs to be off a team either way. That's mean. Who said I was nice?
And just now, you might be wondering, how do they lose this post plant with all of this utility?
They got
How
a
do do
nade.
it?
They got a boom bot.
It's almost like you can't even.
They got a
defuse the
molly.
spike. We have the brim molly landing.
A little early.
That'll shave off quite a bit of time. The tap comes in, the tail ult happens. You can see Fair now ignoring Arcade. Okay, gets killed in the side of the head. Now they immediately brim ult without waiting for the next tap. I mean, you can even see where the tail ult is right there. If this happened in a vacuum, I would be inclined to believe that it was an accident. And if also it happened to a team that hasn't had players playing challengers for multiple seasons now, I would think, okay, maybe that's an accident. But again, we have to just keep seeing it.
All right, I'll give you the league. Someone asked for the league interpretation of what happened. Basically, you caught the ADC out with a Morgana Q, and then your jungler, Amumu, ulted at the same moment after seeing the Morgana Q. So the CC did not properly chain, okay? The CC did not properly chain. Tristana got out. And you're like, how did we fuck that one up? That was a gimme. You just pressed the R button slightly later.
It felt like an unlosable round, actually.
That is a
Let's
crazy
see what
round to
happens
lose.
on the very following round. We did.
Real shit, that is a crazy round to lose. Do they
okay.
not have commentators that can point this out? I mean, I didn't listen to the commentary. The commentators will call out when people do some crazy shit. Like, none of these plays is equivalent to, like, throwing your gun at the ground, walking to your opponent, turning around and bending over and let them shoot up your asshole, right? Like, they're still shooting the gun. If you're going to get paid $20,000 to throw a game, it's probably in your best interest to do it in a way that you can get paid to throw another game in the future. You know what I'm saying? If you're bad enough at throwing games that it's that obvious, then you never get to do it again. And it would be insane of a commentator to accuse live. If I didn't think better, they're probably throwing the game. It'd be a crazy sentence to say. They just buy new accounts. This is a tier 2 game. This is like broadcast. The people are known outside of their names. Have you ever suspected your players? When my players lose, they're authentically ass. Okay?
Gone.
Vintage butt.
So
It's the
surely
Ludwig
we're gonna
guarantee.
3-2 on this. Let's see the same. Oh. Maybe
Unlucky.
if we slow it down a little bit, it'll be better. You got this, Bob. Oh.
Unlucky.
I would
Sean,
say
it's
maybe
unlucky.
she ran out of mouse pad, but it looks like she doesn't even have a mouse pad.
What do you own?
You wanna smoke
Shopify
the
Rebellion Black or
wings?
Shopify Rebellion Gold?
You know, use some of that
Both.
breach util. Maybe you could do the updraft dash onto top side. Actually, saw we got to break that cam. For sure, you got to break that cam. So, but you got to miss it first. You got to get tagged.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it's hard as fuck to follow this. But basically what I'm understanding is Blue Otter has multiple players with a series of just outright horrible plays, which is surprising for the caliber of player that these teams are normally capable of doing.
Damn, this cam! This cam!
To be fair, that's a pretty straightforward one. That's a camera, you can see it,
Damn, this cam!
and just didn't shoot it. Just looked at it and looked away.
This is Bob, the FlyQuest Red player on Blue Otter. You can actually see she lost in Game Changers to the Shopify Gold team the day before. And the day before that, she played a different match and lost. And the day before that, she played 3 matches and won all 3. Four matches. Then you have this game, the game that had the $30,000 bet on it.
Okay, it seems like it's difficult to pin with concrete evidence somebody cheating. There's not going to be like a smoking gun, follow the money. Here's the chat log between Blue or Fair and the cheater. So he's trying to draw conclusions based off of play, coincidental bad moments, and also stats, aka records, to show like, hey, the only times that they're losing or even going 0-2 is against Burger Boys, which happen to have a $30,000 bet on it. That's the logic here. Is he accusing mainly Bob and Fair? He's bad at exposing people. I think viewers are dumb, and I think you have the burden when making a video to accuse somebody with such a bold accusation, such as match throwing. You need to like make it so simple that someone who has never played Valorant can understand it. Like ultimately, that is probably the job. In a way, exposing cheating, corruption, whatever, it is less important to necessarily have the facts correct. It's more important to dumb it down and make it entertaining. This is kind of the world we live in. It's kind of irrelevant if you can, like, you know, create all the dots and then say, hey, draw the line. That is more irrelevant to like making it fun and easy and exciting. AKA, yeah, CoffeeZilla's great at this. Most of CoffeeZilla's effort is put into packaging the information he has in a way that's entertaining and digestible for a viewer. If you think about it, that's most of the work he does. I mean, there's a good amount of work obviously done in like finding the scams, but a lot of the work is done in like packaging those scams for people to understand it. Same thing with the honey person. That's just kind of how things work in this world. But I don't think Sean's goal here is necessarily using these pieces of evidence or whatever to like get these players banned. Maybe that's part of it. But you know what? Let's just watch it and have him say it in his own words. Because I imagine the goal is to have some structural changes to prevent this from happening. Shouldn't they be banned? I think they should be banned. Yeah. I think they should be banned. But I think the bigger issue, well, sorry, no, that's wrong. They shouldn't be banned. They should be investigated by Riot, which I think is already happening. So maybe suspended until investigation's over. What's probably more valuable than banning one or two people who did it is creating a way for them to not be able to do it again, or anyone else to not do it again, really.
You know, Shopify Rebellion Black were the Split 1 champions. That's the team that I general manage for. We were set to continue that success in Split 2. The points slot is very important. There's 2 slots that move up to this Ascension tournament. So by getting cheated out of playoffs, our point total now is completely messed up.
We got cheated out of playoffs? Where's that, Sean? Why'd you skip the cheating section? Because, bitch, Sean took 30 fucking minutes to go over matches and nobody in my chat understands that they're getting pissed off. Ben and Jerry, what are you fucking talking? I'm doing a clip and they go, what's that mean? What's that mean? You are dumb? No, Sean did not package it very well. No shade to Sean. I feel fine saying this. I think Sean is of upstanding character. I think he has great intentions. Guys, you just can't have Yoshi's Story music playing while trying to go through the specifics of how this is a cheat that might have knocked someone out of playoffs. It's just the wrong song.
Not worried about a Cutler. Not worried about anything. Kills our Spike in the back. Doesn't pop dash. Doesn't cloudburst the catwalk.
Like Ben and Jerry, this is above my pay grade, and I play a good amount of Valorant. I don't know what the fuck Sean's talking about here. I don't understand how this results in us being cheated out.
Let's cross this now with this classic. Ahead of any bait, by the way. Ahead of any bait. There's not even a reason to really cross this, actually. It's just a huge risk. So
oh, he's saying he straight up has wall hacks? Oh. What makes this really hard is you can't watch the POV of the specific player he's accusing, because the only info you have to go off of is the main broadcast feed, or maybe one of your players' feeds if they recorded it. So you can only look at the map info from the broadcasts and look at the player's position and their x-ray to judge what their actions are. And so I think the ultimate ask of Sean is for Riot to add a replay system, because it'd be much easier to accuse somebody of cheating, playing improperly. It'd be much easier to do all the work of, you know, looking through these clips if there was a replay system to follow the person who you're trying to accuse. No replay system is batshit crazy. Don't they have a replay system in China, by the way? I thought they had one. They have one for mobile Valorant. Why?
this Paranoia actually is going to catch both of our B players. So perfect Paranoia
Double
cuts
Paranoia.
through sight, gets both of our players. BCJ is sitting ult out. What would really suck is to be paranoid so you can't hear, you can't see, and then you can see Fair, Cloudburst up top. This is actually kind of nice play. When you know where everyone is, I guess. Keep in mind, they're both hit by this Paranoia. They have no sound. They don't know what's happening. He's in between them, and his first play right now isn't to turn around to get that kill. You know what his first play is? Time to use his second Cloudburst. Let's one-way Cloudburst this shit.
That's easily dodged.
Holy shit, man.
Curious. Didn't even check back sight. I don't get it. I mean, just what he did would have been incredibly safe if our team was anywhere other than where they were, I think is the argument. Because you can just be in so many other places, which is kind of the whole point of Valorant. You can be anywhere. And so you have to clear everywhere because they can be anywhere. You're coping. I'm not Sean Garris. That's a different white guy. So apparently, by the way, every clip that we're watching wasn't Sean Garris finding these clips. They were given to Sean by Riot Games, specifically the Riot Games esports compliance team. And they were flagged as suspicious gameplay behavior. Yeah, I would argue if it's just Sean Garris and he's the GM of Shopify Rebellion and he goes, Shopify Rebellion was cheated out of this game by Blue Otter, the natural reaction is, okay, well, Sean, you're being a pussy. You lost and you are mad that you lost. I think that would be one interpretation of it, right? But because Riot Riot Games is backing it and they're saying these are also sus, I think that adds more legitimacy.
Since the news broke, .com suspended Tier 2 Valorant betting. But as you
That's big.
can see, it's back. And
Fuck. That was such a short-lived victory. That was such a short-lived victory, man. Apparently, Blue Otter replied. Sean Garris recently put out a video about the Tier 2 Valorant scene. In this video, he accused a couple of the Blue Otter players for match fixing and or cheating. We take these accusations seriously and will fully condemn the actions of these players if allegations turn out to be true. As of right now, we'll continue to support these players until more concrete evidence comes to light. Accusations of this magnitude and from a large influencer in the scene could hurt any future opportunities of these players if they're false and could hurt the Tier 2 scene. We applaud Sean for trying to make the scene a better place by trying to bring problematic players into light, but we believe he missed the mark on this one. We have supported the Blue Otter VCL roster for 7 months. The entire team practices almost every day and is continuously trying to improve so they can qualify for the Ascension tournament. We would be extremely disappointed if Fair and Bob are guilty of match fixing and will support any ruling that Riot Games makes. I think that's probably a good statement. Holy, what a PR statement. I mean, look, that's probably as good of a statement as you can have, I think. What do you want them to say? Has Fair or Bob replied? It looks like Fair just retweeted the statement and then went back to clip posting. And Bob posted about a cool movie she watched and then posted, "What the frog?" I walked into Bob's room and asked if she was max fishing. She said, "No, lol, I'm rich." And then I walked out. Yeah, I mean, I think the main sentiment is, hey, if this is wrong, this would really hurt their careers and hurt the Tier 2 scene. I agree full with hurting the careers, which is why I'm not trying to dogpile anyone. I don't think it hurts the Tier 2 scene at all. I think that's actually just a dumb thing to say. You can't hurt the Tier 2 scene when it's already fucking dead. Like, be fucking for real. What do you mean hurt the Tier 2 scene? What are you saving, bro? It's almost as dead as you can get. Oh no, hurting the scene with no money in it whatsoever, where one team maybe will have the opportunity to go Tier 1 for a year or something, and your org will probably drop you along the way because it's too expensive. It's not exactly hurting. It's not exactly hurting because it's already dead. How do you get concrete evidence if teams get no footage of the games? Yeah, I would assume Riot in their investigation might have a better way to do it. That's what I would assume. How long are the franchise contracts? I believe the way it works now is it's a 1-year contract, and if you perform at a certain level, you get to stay another year. And so your permittance into Tier 1 is contingent on your performance. I mean, look, here's the real answer, Chad, is it sucks. It makes me more disillusioned on Tier 2 as a whole. And frankly, like, I have basically no interest in supporting it. Like, I'm going to watch Shopify Rebellion Black Games because we're getting closer to the Ascension tournament and I'm going to stay supporting my team. But like, I care less and less about this scene every month that passes. And you guys probably even noticed this for me. Like, we used to watch every fucking game. Tier 2 viewership is a fucking joke. They get 2,000 viewers. It's a fucking joke, bro. And the reward for winning Tier 2 is also a fucking joke. I don't give a fuck about it. Tier 2 gets viewers when Tarek is watch partying. Yeah, that's it. It's if Tarek watch parties Qbert Academy or if I watch party Shopify at Rebellion Black. Outside of that, we have 850 players who are all vying for a spot that only 5 people can hold once a year, holding the equivalent viewership of like the 6th best Mario 64 speeder in the world. That's what we're doing it all for. I mean, let's just call a spade a fucking spade here, man. That's what we're doing. Why don't you watch party the games going on right now? A, I would lose half my viewership. B, what the fuck why would I want to do that? What's my incentive? I'll watch my team and my team only. My team's not playing. I don't give a fuck about the other ones. I don't give a rat's ass. Especially if some of them are match fixing. I'm not saying that the teams right now are match fixing, but fuck them, man. It's got to change. It's got to change, man.